You can't make that claim and expect us to believe you when there's so much screwiness with this story. When we were being told this, and now we're being told that. We were told that, and now we're being told this. Slow news day, huh? Nothing going on, huh? Nothing to see here today, huh? That's if you believe the Department of Justice, anyway. Nothing to see here, according to the Department of Justice, because in a leaked memo by Axios, from Axios, apparently the Department of Justice has concluded that actually there is no Epstein list. Yeah, guys, there's nothing to see here, guys. Brock, tell me about the memo Axios leaked. On July 6, 2025, Axios published a report citing a leaked Department of Justice, DOJ, and FBI memo from the Trump administration claiming that the Jeffrey Epstein did not have a client list, did not blackmail prominent individuals, and died by suicide in 2019. Yeah, sure. Pressing X to down on that. It's so weird, this whole thing. It's so weird. Now, all of a sudden, there's no list, and because the DOJ said so. There's no list. No one's been blackmailed. Yeah, okay. If no one's being blackmailed, then why is this whole massive cover-up here? And he definitely unalived himself. The memo, supported by video footage from Epstein's Manhattan jail cell, 10:40 p.m. August 9th to 6:30 a.m. August 10th, 2019, showed no one entered the cell, reinforcing the medical examiner's suicide ruling. So wait a minute. The camera's turned off when he unalived himself, but now there's footage that shows him dying? Well, what? Which one is it? Was the cameras turned off? Or what is there footage and it shows him dying? It shows him unaliving himself. Because if that footage exists, they need to release that. I'm sorry, but they do at this point. If they want to really quell our concerns, they need to release that footage. The DOJ and FBI stated no further charges would be pursued and additional Epstein-related records would not be released, citing concerns about child sexual abuse material and victim privacy. However, the report sparked significant skepticism, particularly on X. Users questioned the memo's authenticity due to its lack of official signatures, dates, or DOJ letterhead, and some claimed Axios removed the article from their website, suggesting it might have been fake or part of a sting to catch a leaker. Now, unless I'm reading a different article, I think the article is still up on Axios. I read it this morning. One user noted the FBI denied the memo's existence, though this lacks confirmation from primary sources. Others pointed to contradictions, like Attorney General Pam Bondi's earlier claim in February 2025 that she was reviewing the client list, which the memo now denies exists. Yeah, that's another thing. They need to fire Pam Bondi, because if it was known for this whole time that actually there was no, there's something screwy going on here. Either she knew there was no list and she lied, which in that case needs to be fired, or there was a list and all of a sudden it's been confiscated. Honestly, I'm kind of going with the former. I think she lied. I think she lied to us and she knowingly lied to us. And I think she needs to be fired. The backlash, especially among Trump supporters, stems from expectations of new Epstein disclosures fueled by prior promises from Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel. The February 2025 release of 100-plus pages of Epstein documents, flight logs, contact books, was criticized as recycled information, and this memo's conclusions, dismissing a client list and blackmail, further frustrated those anticipating revelations about elite involvement. Elon Musk's deleted X posts alleging Trump's presence in the Epstein files added fuel, though Trump denied any connection. It also, I would like to note, Elon Musk deleted this and saying he went a little too far. Again, I don't think Trump is on the list. At the same time, though, this is a little weird. But I still, if I had to bet money on it, I would bet that Trump's not on it. I just, well, I'll give my thoughts on it after reading this. Critical notes: authenticity concerns. The memo's legitimacy is unverified, as Axios' article couldn't be independently confirmed, and its reported removal raises red flags. X post suggests that it might have been fabricated or retracted, but no official statement from Axios confirms this. So let it be known that Axios, because again, this was just from a memo, but it wasn't an official statement put out there by the DOJ. And I think that's something people need to consider. People need to consider that this was not an official statement, because I kind of flipped out a little bit, but I was like, well, why would they announce this? This is so weird. But then when I looked into it, I was like, oh, this is a memo reported by Axios. And Axios, from what I heard, is a kind of left leaning, kind of leans a little bit toward the left. So that's something to consider. The memo could have been from, it's like when they report a news story and it's like sources say, but it's unverified sources, it's undisclosed sources. So that's what this is. We don't know where they got this memo from. Did they get it from a reliable source? Did they get it from FOIA? Where did they get this memo from? So that's something to consider, ladies and gentlemen. And I want something to just something to think about there before everyone completely flips the fuck out. Inconsistencies. Bondi's earlier statements about a client list contradicted the memo, prompting accusations of misleading the public. The decision to halt further disclosures also conflicts with prior transparency promises. Public sentiment. X posts reflect distrust, with users like Robbie Starbuck questioning why Ghislaine Maxwell is imprisoned if no client list or blackmail existed, and others calling the memo a cover-up. Context. The memo's release follows a history of conspiracy theories about Epstein's death and connections, previously amplified by figures like Patel and Dan Bongino, who now support the suicide narrative. That's another thing that's highly questionable. Yeah, those two were part of the group that was like, yeah, release the files. Yeah, let's get them. And now that they're in there, now they're coming out and being like, no, yeah, he totally killed himself. Trust us, bros. He totally did it from what we saw. And it's like, come on. What's going on here? The alleged Epstein memo, as reported by Axios, claims no client list, no blackmail, and confirms Epstein's suicide. But its authenticity is heavily debated due to missing official markers and its reported removal from Axios' site. Well, let's see if it's on Axios' site. Public frustration, especially on X, highlights the skepticism about the DOJ's narrative and unmet expectations for transparency. If you're seeking specific details, e.g. the memo's content, Axios' sourcing, or reactions, I can dig deeper and analyze related sources. Let me know what only angle you want to explore. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's see. Well, Grok, can you cite the Axios article? All right, so they cite the article. So they cite the article and then they put, however, please note that there's uncertainty about the article's status, as some X posts claim it was removed from Axios' website, potentially due to questions about the memo's authenticity or server issues from high traffic. Others dispute this, stating the article remains accessible. I can confirm the link was functional as of my last check, but you may want to verify it yourself given the conflicting reports. If you need further analysis of the article's content or related sources, let me know. All right, so let's give this article a click, huh? Oh, well, look at that. We can't find the page you're looking for. Fascinating. All right, well, let's try this one. Wow. So yeah, so also let it be known, the article can't be found anymore. Yeah, look. Uh you can't find the page you're looking for. It can't be found. Let's look up the let's look up on Axios's actual site. Come on, Axios, I'm human. I'm only human. Flesh and blood, a man. Exclusive DOJ FBI concluded Epstein had no client list, dead by suicide. So it's weird though, because look, this is still up, and I think this is the article I read earlier. So what's going on here? Is there one that has the memo on there? Good to see you, Benjamin. You didn't get a notification you're alive, huh? YouTube? YouTube? How dare you? Trying to suppress the victors now, YouTube? Huh? So look, this article is still up. Interesting. Here. What do you have to say about this, Grok? Grok, the article you cited isn't up anymore, but I found this on Axios's site. Is this the same article you tried to cite? All right, let's see what Grok says. Thanks for pointing that out and providing the new link. The Axo article I cited, titled Exclusive DOJ Had No Client Commit Suicide, appears to be inaccessible or inconsistent with X post claiming it was taken down. The link you provided seems to be a related or updated article. Oh, I see. Well, let's see what Grok has to say about the new article. Based on the URL and context, the article you found likely covers the same Epstein memo leak discussing the DOJ and FBI's conclusions that Jeffrey Epstein had no client list, did not engage in blackmail, and died by suicide in 2019, supported by jail cell footage. The slight difference in the URL update and title suggests it could be an updated version, a follow-up, or a reposted article addressing the same memo, but possibly with additional context or corrections, especially given the public backlash and skepticism about the original's report's authenticity. However, without direct access to full text of either article, I can't confirm they're identical. The new article's focus on the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein case aligns with the original report's discussion of the DOJ stance under Trump's appointees like Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. The timing and topic strongly suggests it's either the same story or a closely related follow-up addressing the memo's claims and the resulting controversy. Key points to consider: why the original link may be down. X post suggested the original link was removed due to the doubts about the memo's legitimacy, a possible retraction by Axios, or server issues from high traffic. It's also possible Axios updated the article and changed the URL to reflect new information or address inaccuracies. Differences: the new article's title and date imply it might include additional details, such as reactions to the memo or clarification in response to criticism. Public reaction: the skepticism on X about memo's authenticity likely prompted Axios to refine or reframe their reporting, which could explain the new article. Recommendation: the article you found is likely a continuation or revision of the original report I cited, covering the same blah, 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 blah. To affirm, you could check the content of the July 7 article for references to the memo, Epstein suicide, the absence of the client list, and the Trump's administration's involvement. If you like, I can analyze the new article's content further, if accessible, or search for additional sources to clarify the difference between the two. Could you share any specific details? Let me know if you want. Let's see. Yeah, can you analyze the new article? Yeah, Grok, can you analyze the new article? Okay, it's pretty much the same thing. Comparison to the original article. Focus on the memo's findings. The focus emphasized on the memo's details. Blah blah blah. Broader implications. Blah blah blah. So I guess this article analyzes the MAGA movement's stunned reaction to the Trump administration's DOJ and FBI memo, which debunks Epstein conspiracy theories about a client list, blackmail, and murder. It highlights the tension between prior expectations of transparency and the memo's closure of the case, as well as the distrust it has sparked among supporters. While it's a follow-up to the July 6 article, it shifts focus to political fallout rather than the memo specifics. The lack of clarity on the memo's authenticity and its dissemination through Axios, combined with inconsistencies in official statements, fuels ongoing skepticism as seen on X. If you want me to dive deeper into specifics, blah, 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 or if you'd like me to search for blah, 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 blah. All right. So I guess the verdict is still out, like, about the legitimacy of this memo and the fact that Axios has updated this and took down the original article. I want people to consider that when thinking about all of this that's going on. Now, a lot of people are outraged on X. Obviously, people are always flipping the fuck out on Epstein list, and I'm not blaming them. I'm not. Because listen, would I also like this list to be released? Would I like all this information to be transparent? Of course. I would like a lot of information that the government keeps from us to be transparent. I think you would quell a lot of conspiracy theorists, and because people tend to flip the fuck out over stuff, and of course I would appreciate transparency. So yes, obviously I would like transparency. And obviously this whole thing has become such a bigger mess under the Trump administration somehow than even under the Biden administration. Because now you have the DOJ memo, assuming it's authentic, which, by the way, if it's not authentic, then by all means, I think the DOJ should come out and release a statement on this, saying that was not an authentic memo and things of that nature. Not that that's going to shut people up about it, but they should. Because Axios, we don't know where they got that memo from. We don't know if that's an official memo from an actual source or if they got that from FOIA or something. For all we know, it could just be one of these other, like, the things that we've always heard about these years where it's like, oh, a source say that Trump said this or something. It's like, oh, okay, great. Yeah. So that's obviously real. Same thing with this memo. Now, the memo does align with like Patel and Bongino coming out and saying, yeah, trust us. He really did unalive himself. But if there's footage existing of him unaliving himself, because apparently there's video footage that goes from 10:30 the night of until like 6 something in the morning the day after. So during that time period, that's when hold on, let me get this straight. At what time did Epstein unalive himself? The exact time of Jeffrey Epstein's death by suicide is not definitively stated in available records, but official reports provide a timeline. Epstein was found unresponsive in his cell at the jail, 6:30 a.m. on August 10th. So yeah, he was pronounced dead at a hospital at 6:39. So yeah. So on one hand, So right here, the Axios article reference and related DOJ FBI memo reiterate that footage from 10:40 p.m. on August 9th to 6:30 a.m. on August 10th shows no one entering the area, supporting the suicide ruling. However, some posts question the timeline, noting discrepancies, like guards reportedly were starting CPR at 6:33 a.m. while the video extends to 6:39 a.m. without showing activity. These inconsistencies fuel skepticism, but lack conclusive evidence to contradict the official findings. In summary, Epstein likely died around 4:30 a.m. on August 10th, based on autopsy estimates, though he was officially found unresponsive at 6:30. If you want me to explore specific discrepancies or further analyze the footage, let me know. So remember, the story we've been told was that the cameras, magically shut off around the time when he unalived himself. But now Bongino and Patel come out and say, well, yeah, we saw this footage. And actually, no, he really did trust us. He really did unalive himself. So again, we were told there's no footage that exists of it, but now we're told there's footage. And that they saw it and trust us. I'm sorry. At this point, if there is footage, they do need to release this. They absolutely need to release this. Because if they're telling the truth, then why not show us? If they have nothing to hide, why not show us this footage then? Listen, like, even if we never get a list, I've stopped expecting a list. Because my opinion is this: if Trump couldn't get it done, if Trump couldn't get this list released, then there must be some really powerful people behind this. I mean, isn't Prince Andrew like one of them? Isn't he like a powerful dude? And that's just one person. Imagine if there's several Prince Andrews on here. So there's going to be some pretty powerful people behind this list. And in my opinion, if even Trump can't get it done, I don't think anyone could be able to get it done. I don't have any hope of this list ever showing up. I've come to kind of terms with that. I've come to terms like we're never going to see this list. We're never going to know who was part of the Epstein Island. We're not. With that said, though, there's some claims that if you're going to make this claim, you do need to verify it with us. So, for instance, if you're going to come out and claim, no, trust us, he actually did unalive himself, and there's footage that shows it, you're going to have to share it at this point. You're going to have to. All right. You can't make that claim and expect us to believe you when there's so much screwiness with this story. When we were being told this, and now we're being told that. We were told that, and now we're being told this. There are some things that you're going to have to verify with us. Otherwise, shut up about it. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, just shut up about it. I don't talk about the Epstein list anymore. Just don't bring it up. Just say, yeah. Like, even if you're at this point, you're honest and be like, listen, there are a lot of people behind this, and we really can't release this or something like that. You know what? I would even be like, you know what? I understand. I get it. It's wrong. Obviously, I would like this exposed. I would like it to be as transparent, but I understand. I would get that. But the fact they come out and say, no, trust us. The video footage, which we told you didn't exist, now does exist, and we watched it, and trust us, he unalived himself. You can't do that. And you can't have Pam Bondi come out either and say things like, I have the list sitting on my desk. I'm going to release the binders tomorrow. And then not, the binders that you released had stuff that we already knew about. And then it comes out now that actually, well, there is no list. So, well, what's going on here, Bondi? Did you knowingly lie to us then? Did you knowingly lie to us for some kind of publicity stunt or something? If this was just some kind of social media stunt to get some clout or promotion for the administration or something, you need to be fired. That's my opinion on Pam Bondi. If she knowingly lied to us for some kind of stunt, she needs to be fired. You can't be doing that shit. That's like highly unprofessional. You're supposed to be a professional, and that's complete clown shoes to do something like that. You're being shady, you're being transparent, or not, you're being transparent. You're being not transparent, and you're lying about something. And so you clearly lied about having the Epstein list on your desk, and you need to be fired. Wow, only 3 people watching, huh? What's going on today, guys? Is this YouTube trying to stop the victors, huh? Or is it because I have Epstein in the title? Is that a no-no for YouTube? Is Epstein a no-no word for YouTube? Is that going to suppress me in the algorithm? The algorithm is going to get you. And I guess it's gotten me today. I saw a tweet from Andrew Wilson when I was logging on to X, and he was like, the left and the right can agree that we want this Epstein list. I don't think the left care about the Epstein list as much as us here on the right. I don't think they do. You think they would, because they obviously think Trump's on there, or at least they say Trump's on there. They probably don't even think Trump's on there for real. They just say that. But I saw Pisco was live streaming, and they're like, oh, mega big mad that the Epstein list, controversy or whatever. So it's funny that it's like, oh, mega big mad. Well, why isn't everybody big mad? This affects everybody. It's like with the potential voter fraud, like in 2020. Like, why didn't that should have pissed off everybody? So no, I actually don't think the left and the right are in agreement about this. I don't think the left care as much about this as the right. Let me see if there's anything else going on concerning the story. Let's see what Laverne Spicer had to say. I'ma just leave this shit right here. If Epstein didn't even have a motherfucking list, what the fuck y'all been stringing us along for 6 goddamn years for? If Epstein didn't have a motherfucking client list, why the fuck Scam Bondi say she had one of them? If Epstein didn't have a motherfucking list, what is Ghislaine Maxwell in prison for? And if Epstein didn't even have a motherfucking list, why y'all wait till 10 p.m. on a motherfucking Sunday night to tell us that bullshit? I'll wait. Got a regular Samuel L. Jackson right here. But again, to be fair, the DOJ didn't come out and announce this. This was reported on by Axios. If there is no documents or evidence, why is Ghislaine Maxwell in prison? First, Diddy is found not guilty in all major sex trafficking charges. And now the DOJ FBI state there is no Epstein client list. Decades of child abuse by elite perpetrators is being covered up and buried in real time. Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of infuriating. It's a fucked up world we live in. And you know what's sad too is that I didn't expect Diddy to get years in prison. I didn't expect him to serve life or anything, and that's sad. That I'm already like, yeah, too many powerful people doing fucked up shit. And when they're so powerful that not even, current sitting president can do anything about it, well, it's a little blackpilling, See what Hodgson said. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for 20 years for sex trafficking kids with Epstein. And the DOJ and FBI just said that there is no client list. He didn't blackmail nobody, and nobody else is getting charged. So they sex traffic kids to nobody. So I want to reiterate, the DOJ hasn't put out an official statement. This is all a memo reported by Axios. We were told to be patient, that justice was coming. The Epstein files and list would be made public. Now, the DOJ and the FBI reportedly say no client list exists. Pam Bondi should resign or be fired. She lied. This is not justice. Yeah, well, I do agree with that. One of the first things reported was that the cameras were down. Breaking: the reported full 11-hour video outside of Jeffrey Epstein's cell has been published on the DOJ's website, showing no one entering the cell. So then there is a community note added. The cameras located in and around Jeffrey Epstein's cell malfunction and cannot record any footage from July 29, 2019 until after his death. The only camera that had recorded footage of the hallway did not have Epstein's cell door in its field of view. Huh. All right. There's not a single soul who believes this. Yeah. Trump has to fire Pam Bondi. She went on camera and told the world she has the Epstein client list on her desk. Now they say there's no list. Yeah. I absolutely agree with everyone on Pam Bondi. Like, she needs to be fired. You can't do that shit. You can't tell us, like, yeah, I got the list on my desk. And then if it comes out that there actually is no list, well, I mean, did you lie then? And if you lied, why did you do that? You can't do that. Don't do that. So wait, so now the official story is Jeffrey Epstein had a whole island of trafficked children all for himself. 0 clients. So all politicians went there to swim. If Trump was on the Epstein list, why didn't Biden release that info to stop Trump being president? Yeah, that's always my main thing with why Trump I don't think Trump would be on that list. Because there's no way that they would have had that nuke and not have used it. I also just don't think Trump would have done that. But, you know, that's another thing, too. I don't think Trump would have done it. But if he would have done it, there's no way Democrats would have had that nuke just sitting there and not have used it. I have a feeling my stupid MacBook's going to freaking conk out again. On the bright side, oh, yeah, see right here. Andrew Wilson. One thing the right wing and the left wing can agree on is that we want the Epstein client list and we want to know who went. Even if Trump is on that list, we want to know. This is obviously at this point a massive cover up. No, you think? You think this is a massive cover up? It's been a massive cover up. It's been a massive cover up. I agree, by the way. If Trump is on the list, I would want to know too. I do. I just also disagree that the left wing and the right wing can't agree. I don't think the left wing cares as much. Well, that's my thoughts on that. I gave up hope about the Epstein list, like, ever since the whole Pam Bondi fiasco. Actually, you know, whenever since Kash Patel and Dan Bongino came out and was like, trust us, bros, that's when I officially gave up on all hope. And I was like, yeah, we're not going to get this list. We're not going to get it. And I don't think anyone's going to be able to get this list, because there's some people who think that, oh, well, Trump failed. He's been compromised. Let's vote this other guy in or something. Like, oh, if we vote for this person, I don't think there's a person that we could vote for that's going to deliver us this list. I don't. I think the people that are involved in that whole thing are too powerful And as long as they're alive, there ain't no way that this list is coming out. So it doesn't matter if Trump's in there, doesn't matter if JD Vance is in there, Ron DeSantis, any other like right-wing politician that you could think of, doesn't matter. We're not going to get the list. We could get a libertarian in there. We're not going to get the list. We could get Bernie Sanders in there. We're not going to get the list. Democrats in there. We're definitely not going to get the list. We're not going to ever see it. So no, this isn't just a Trump thing. It's not just, Trump failed. He's compromised. Now we need to vote someone else in there. It's like, no. My opinion is if Trump couldn't even do it, then yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see it. No, I hope I'm wrong. I hope if there's a president in there that goes in there and actually reveals everything and drains the swamp, then I'll be wrong. I'll be like, yeah, Trump fucking failed at doing that. He was weak when it came to that. This guy did a good job. But I don't think that's ever going to happen.